Hello and welcome to episode 9 of our Timberborn Update 3 hard mode Let's Play with the Iron Teeth faction. Last episode we had a massive population crash because of food shortages, but we managed to recover and finish a couple of other things as well. This episode we're going to improve our situation on resource stuff so it doesn't happen again, and we're going to make a couple of other improvements as well. Chiefly more farming stuff over here. We're going to try and finish this whole reservoir area with a couple more of these intermediary dams, and then down here in this area we should have enough distance in our second district to go ahead and dam this a little bit further back and combine these areas into one mega dam. Should help us retain a little bit more water, especially when stuff ends up getting pumped out. So just to recap before we move on to do any other stuff, the food issues are mostly solved. As far as I can tell, we added a bunch more wheat and a bunch more carrots. And we also have these chestnuts down here that are, well, theoretically going to be in a much better position now that we're starting to get more and more beavers working in there. We should have one of these. Yeah, they're going to have to get the chestnuts, I think. This, okay, yeah, we got somebody here. They just haven't actually harvested the chestnuts yet. They'll get there. But that's going to be a priority for this episode, as well as a couple of you have pointed out, we haven't started gathering any pine resin or maple syrup yet. So we're going to need to identify a part of the map that our tree guy can operate out of the tapper's shack, when we research that with our science points. And we're going to need to probably find a way to prioritize science production so we can get our friend, the number cruncher, unlocked. That's going to require us to build some more golems so we can have more of these jobs automated. Because while we do have berries stored up now to deal with the breeding pods, it's going to take them a while to really catch up. And for us to get back to the point where we previously were with, I don't know, 80, 90 beavers, probably going to take most of this episode, if not longer. So, again, before we go ahead and get into our triple speed, let's take a quick moment to identify a good location for a tapper's shack before I go and research it. Now, this area over here has pine trees and maples right near each other, so I think this could be a good spot to do that. We just have this one tree right here that is in the way of having this entire path be complete, which would open up these lumberjack flags. I believe these lumberjack flags are all set to a lower priority, and they are because there's so many jobs that aren't being done right now. We have 42 vacancies presently, and a lot of those are the lumberjack flags. So what we're going to go ahead and do, just for right now, let's make this a top priority job. Have somebody come in here and cut this tree. This one tree. So I think best way to do that is probably just going to be to remove the rest of these so they're not going to be tempted. We'll put them back later, don't worry. So we'll let them take care of that. And when I say we'll put it back later, this will actually be the very next thing we do after this tree is cut down. So while we're waiting on them to do that, let's go ahead and unlock the tapper's shack right here. And I think right here is going to be more or less the perfect spot for it. And once this tree is gone, this should become accessible. So we'll go ahead and pop this guy right here. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll mark this entire area, this inner bounds of these maple trees, as non-cuttable, and they'll be able to harvest the maple syrup. And then these pine trees as uncuttable, they'll be able to harvest the resin, which of course means we will have, I always want to click that, we're going to have to finally start unlocking large tank, although we don't have to do that immediately. We can always start with the smaller one. That, of course, is going to be for the maple syrup. The pine resin has to go in one of these, well, it's not an industrial pile. It can just go in a regular, I think. Yeah. It can just go in a regular storage, which we will do when we have the ability to get that done. So let's go ahead and turbo speed. Get this guy coming in here and get rid of that tree. All right, and that's taken care of. Let's check our, yeah, see now that's all connected. Perfect. And we can put our trees back. These are birch. That's our fast, it's my wood and I need it now wood. These maples down here are for cutting. And then we'll make these chestnuts for cutting, these chestnuts for harvesting chestnuts. And we also have all these trees down here we haven't done anything with, which we're going to want to do. And I think the best way to do that is going to be to put in... Well, I guess I don't really need to blow this one up. No, we definitely do. Because then I can just keep putting staircases. And we'll just end up doing that. We'll let them get to that as they have time to do so. And eventually someone will end up working here and start getting all of those things taken care of. So that's going to be that district. We have plenty of wood, plenty of places to store it. We're just on the recovery train, and we're already starting to get some more beavers in, which is very, very good news. And more things will gradually come back online as that happens. Over here in this district, we have our bot part factory operating, albeit slowly, because we are waiting on other stuff to get built. We have plenty of planks. We don't have a ton of gears. So what I'm going to have to do is start prioritizing stuff. Now, a couple of you have said, hey, you should have the engines deprioritized. They are, because they're being supplied by haulers, of which we have 4 working here. We might not even need 4, honestly, because they're bots. They can just kind of do whatever they want. I don't know why these are dry if we have a fully stocked water dump. Really should not be a problem. Okay, we got our forester's doing his thing. I think we're all right. We're just kind of in this weird spot now where everything is kind of on hold because we didn't have enough dudes. And I had this kept blocked off in case I wanted to build another levee here. But for right now, we're just going to keep on planting some more crops. I probably don't need all of this. Should be something else. I think I can just go ahead and put some more probably potatoes. Are these both set to planting? They sure are. I don't want to get into wheat in this area quite yet. We don't have the manpower, whether it's beavers or regular bots or anything. We don't have the manpower to really do any of that. So right now, I guess we can just kind of focus on growing some crops. And if we were to build another little bridge right here, we could probably... Yeah, we could have them come across this side and plant some more on this side of the river. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. We'll let them, you know, kind of figure this out. In the meantime, it's probably going to be a while before this is built, so we probably don't need to worry about it. Just by virtue of having a whole lot of open jobs. But the number's going up. We started this episode at 38 or 39, and we're already up to 43. That is promising. Now, down here, we have 21.2 days left, so I think we're going to be okay to go ahead and start construction on another mega dam. And of course, once that's done, I'm going to delete this and delete this and let it all just kind of coalesce in this area here. I think I might have the range if we check our district center here. I theoretically should have the range to build this about right here. But that requires building platforms all the way out that far. And I just don't know if that is the most responsible course of action. I think it could be another scenario in which we just kind of gradually build further out that way. Because it does take a very long time to actually be able to accomplish a lot of this kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and find the thinnest part of this. I think it's going to be 4 or 5. Might be about as far as we can get. Now, if we go ahead and do this, we'll just make it, yeah, we'll make it dams all the way across on the top. I guess this one doesn't have to be a dam because it's, well, it doesn't even really have to be anything because it's kind of behind a wall, but I just like the aesthetic of that. So we will leave that as it will. And I believe we can just go ahead and kind of do this thing and build our pathway all the way across. That is obviously going to be a long-term thing. Might be toward the end of the episode they actually get that done because of all this other stuff they've got to take care of. And the fact that this district isn't really ever going to get any more beavers in it unless I manually assign them. But they also have golems, so bots, golems, whatever. So that's probably going to be okay there. And another thing people have been saying is that there's not enough medical beds, and that is absolutely correct. We're going to be building more of those, and I think a good place to start is this inactive gatherer flag. Now, there's still dandelions in here that I really shouldn't get rid of, but we do have a lot of them up here. Ah, there's nobody working in the healer. Of course, that would be why. So just for the sake of getting this finished, let's go ahead and have somebody start working in the healer and see if they will take these gatherers out, or the dandelions out. I'm not sure that's going to be the case. Clicked on the wrong thing. I guess we could try to prioritize by haulers, except we don't really have any. So we're just going to have to kind of shuffle these guys around. Not that I really need to be worrying about 6 dandelions, but it's also kind of a shame to waste stuff. Let's see if this guy will end up doing anything over here. Maybe. But point being, this teeth grindstone is actually in a really bad spot right now. Let's move that. We'll get rid of that, and I think, yeah, I think we can actually just go ahead and turn this into a medical bed. And the reason tooth grindstone was there is because we previously, a long time ago, had a bunch of trees growing here, but they need to actually be in a place they can be used. Like over here. I don't think we have any over here. Which is interesting because, you know, there's a whole lot of lumberjack action going on over here. So let's get rid of that one and replace, click the wrong thing. Yeah. We'll replace that with a medical bed. And we already have the 2 up here. So honestly, 4 for this district with hardly any hazardous things for beavers to get themselves into. 4 should be enough. We do have a healer here. And we have these 2 medical beds. This district definitely needs more. We actually have 3. I forgot about this one. That creaking is haunting my nightmares. Yeah, they haven't started doing any of that. They haven't... Oh, they actually did start building these. So let's see if there is a better spot to put a medical bed that I can kind of keep up with here. Like underneath one of these... platforms, maybe, because it really doesn't matter where they are as long as they're accessible. And this is pretty close to a lot of this hazardous stuff. So we'll put one there, and then I think I can fit another one. It's not gonna let me. There we go. That's a good use of space underneath there. And once that is built and occupied, that should be Very, very helpful indeed. So now we have 5. We have 5 medical beds once those are all built, and a district with 18 beavers. So I think that should be okay. That should be a big help. There. Why is all of this saying it's drying out when we have... Is this actually, Oh, there's no water here. Even though it's full of water. Is that because I have nobody working here? That has to be it. But it really shouldn't be. Okay. Alright, so we'll have somebody come in here real quick. There we go. Just for a minute, and then we'll put it back down. Alright. So that solved that problem. That's good. We're going to do a lot of problem solving today. Try to salvage where we are and not be so negative all the time. I know it's hard. Well, for me at least. As expected, there's nothing happening here yet. But we do have the rest of these marked for cutting. And they are harvesting chestnuts here, which is good progress. I believe it's this grill. Yes, they are making the grilled chestnuts. Excellent. There's still dandelions here. I don't know if those are ever going to go away. So it might actually... We'll just have to... Man, they really haven't done anything over here. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We found a spot to put a medical bed anyway, so I'm not so pressed for space to delete this yet. Let's see. Both of these are set to... I'm going to set both of these to plant. Because we're no longer in a food crisis. All of those are set to plant as well. And then over here, it looks like our area is all ready to go. So let's put these right here. And now they have all of this room to work with, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and plant some more crops. We'll do carrots in here. Should be a nice addition. Potatoes. Well, there's nobody working at this one yet. But we do have the bots, and they're going to be very efficient at getting stuff done. See, we have potatoes here. We're not going to worry about that quite yet. So that's looking good. And we're already up to 51 beavers. See, stuff fixes itself pretty quickly, assuming you have the resources to keep on top of stuff. But we've got plenty of berries. We've got plenty of water. We have 15 days left in the drought. And we've got enough stored up where it really shouldn't be that much of a problem. And we're starting this little dam here. That's going to be a big help when we get around to that part of everything. And we just had 3 die of old age at the same time, which is unfortunate. But that's just something you have to deal with. I'm very tempted to add more of these breeding pods, but I know it's going to be a problem, so we're not going to do it. Okay, our farmhouses are all doing their thing. Now, in terms of food storage, we actually don't have... I believe we don't have any dedicated storage outside of right here for wheat. So why don't we build one of those? Or try to find some other place... Oh, there's nobody to work in the grist mill. That would be why. That would be exactly why. We have 210 wheat, which seems to be enough, but we have nobody to turn it into wheat flour, which means we have nobody to turn it into bread. Actually, no, we have somebody working in the bakery, but nobody working in the grist mill. Oh my. All right. Yeah, that's just part of the balancing act you have to take when you are very far behind on the workforce. So that ought to help solve that problem a little bit. And something else people suggested was to get rid of these deep water pumps from the internally submerged area and put them into a place where they're going to be able to pump at all times. Which is a good idea, except I've got to figure out where that's going to be. Because right here, they're already in the deepest part of this. So I guess the most logical answer to that would be to just have this entire thing be platforms and to build these up on top of that. So I have a different proposal, and that is to just shorten the distance here. to where I think I'm trying to get a good angle on this. I think if I build a triple high here, it's going to be the same height as the water. No, no, that's the height we want. The perspective on this is weird sometimes. Okay, I think that's going to be... I think that's going to be the spot I want right here. If I have both of these pumps, yes, we'll put those right there. We will demolish these, and hopefully these guys will be able to pick up all this rubble, build this, and then we will have the rest of our... Oh, that's still not high enough. What am I doing? All right, well, I'm glad I caught that before they actually started building anything. Because what we're going to have to do here, I think, most economical use of resources is just to turn each of these into 2 high, and then all of this into 2 high as well. Put those guys back up there. Yep, that looks perfect. And then just build that. Have that, excuse me, have that connect right there. And we'll let our guys come in and take care of that just as soon as they're able. They've got plenty of other things to be doing. I wonder why they haven't built this yet. Are they focused on building... Well, nothing really. So, okay, what are these guys doing? Oh, they're finishing this. Okay, that's fine. This actually needed to be finished, so we will let them take care of this, even if it takes them a little while longer than we want. Okay, so now we also have this problem of this drying out, which I guess is to be expected, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to have this reservoir finished. We are going to have to, I think, start marking this side as a lower priority area, because we just have we have so much going on over here that we need built in the other parts of the map. We will deprioritize that, and then hopefully that means they can get in here and do the rest of this that much sooner. So let's go ahead and highly prioritize these, because that's going to allow us to cut down these chestnut trees. And yeah, we actually... Oh, I have one of these I haven't blown up. That's always fun. And I had started excavating all this for the sake of having more water storage, which is, you know, always a good idea. Just kind of, you know, just making a mess for the sake of making a mess. It's fun, though. All right, progress on this is progress is progressing. There you go. We haven't built any more golems in quite a while. Bots, etc. Ah, we're out of power because the engines finally ran out. And the haulers should be putting logs in, but we're out of logs. And we're out of logs because nobody is cutting the logs and there's no logs to cut. But we should still be importing from District 1, and we are. So I think we should check. Yep, there's nobody working here. So let's go ahead and make that a priority job for this district. Are we equitably distributing? Okay, okay, we're doing well. I just forgot I had this set to a minimum of 30. When this district definitely needs more than 30 beavers here. But it's good that we went up to 22 in this district, because now we can come in over here and we can take a look at our jobs. Okay, we have one of the bot assemblers is doing their thing. That's fine. Bot part factories, the ones that are open, are fine. Water pump is fine. Distribution post, district center. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're doing fine. Yeah, we seem to be doing all right. We're just still kind of catching up. and seeing just how much we have to do. Okay, so this side over here is now finished, which means they should be working on all of these, and they have. So we'll detonate that. We'll put in our other staircase right here. We'll make that a high priority, and then these guys can start cutting these trees down. I did the wrong thing there. I wanted to cut these. There we go. And then we also need to come over to our forester, which for right now cannot get down here and might not end up having that much range anyway. But if they don't have range, we can just turn this into something else, like maybe farmland could be a good thing, or figure out some other way. Yeah, the forester can't reach down here. That's fine. We'll get these trees out of here. Actually, this chestnut guy could come in here and start harvesting the chestnuts. How are we doing on chestnut storage? Grilled chestnuts. Okay, what about raw chestnuts? Yeah, we've got storage. We're doing okay on that. They still have not come up here to deal with any of this, which I guess is to be expected. That's fine. Yeah, these crops are dying out, but that is, well, it's just going to happen. We're doing okay on storage for stuff now. Seems to be fine. We don't have a ton of storage for potatoes. We're going to have to build food-dedicated storage probably sooner rather than later. Just have to find a good spot to put it. Our districts right here are kind of backed up into each other. Remember that these 8 warehouses are part of this other district, and this is the industrial zone. And when we're putting in food storage, we want that to be accessible in a place where all the beavers can get to it, which I guess is what accessible means. So we're going to have to be careful not to put it in an area that's going to take away arable land, but it also needs to be easy to get to. So I think what we'll end up doing is just put a bunch of these big old warehouses in, and we'll have one for bread, one for baked potatoes, grilled potatoes, whatever have you, one for carrots, because this district does not have food storage. Logs, metal blocks, planks, scrap metal, and then all that other stuff. So once this is all done, that will be very helpful. And we're going to, of course, have a pathway to get over here, which we will accomplish by doing this. And then spanning that around that side. So that's going to be easily accessible for most things in the district. And that is our major food that we're going to be dealing with in this area. Once we start doing wheat, which I'm probably going to hold off on for a little while longer, but wheat will end up being grown probably right around here. And then we will have the grist mills put in somewhere once we have the space to start building more industrial stuff. So I think what we can do is go ahead and blow these, I guess these 4 blocks up. We'll have the power come down here, go directly into the side of an industrial building, and we'll start building those once we have, you know, enough beavers. But let's check back in on this district, see how we're doing over here. Up to 37, so that's good progress. They're all getting, well, something done. Making plenty of grilled chestnuts, looking good. We have plenty of water. 6 days left in the drought. I think we're going to be okay to let some water out here to try and keep this area all hydrated. Yeah, we'll take that back up to max height. That'll refill. But that's going to keep some of these, well, not all of these trees, but going to keep most of them hydrated. Progress continues over here. Seems to be doing well. Again, once this is complete, we're going to destroy this stuff and replace this with stilts just so we can, or platforms, just so we can keep getting over here. That's going to be a process for sure. All right, and we're out of power because nobody's been supplying enough wood. So we really also need to be having more wood, which means we're going to have some place to grow it, which means we need another one of these areas with more water. Or we could just start planting trees down here, but I kind of wanted to avoid that. Kind of wanted to turn this into storage. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to strike a balance, I suppose. For right now, let's just start growing a couple more trees. These maples will eventually mature. They're going to take a while. I guess I could be cutting all of these trees as well. And if the water is ever high enough, this could actually become growable land for trees. Yeah, see, now we have these seedlings are in the dry part. I can't get any more water in here because of how this is all set up, which is another reason why this is so important. To try and get all this other stuff. Okay, nothing to do in range. You can't get these trees? Okay, dude. Well, if that's the case, then you can go do something else and we just won't worry about it. We will plant a carrot in your place. Okay, this has not been tapped for maple syrup, but now it has. And this guy's collecting pine resin. And these should be able to be harvested for maple syrup. Yeah, they're all set, ready to go. And get this guy doing something. Anyway, the pine resin being stored is good and necessary. I'm going to build, I believe, a large warehouse would probably be smart. Oh, geez, where is this? Okay, why can't I find this? There we go. Pine resin. I am going to put in another tank for the syrup, probably. I didn't want to use the science points on researching the large liquid tank just yet, because I think there's other things that are a little more important. This needs to be obtained into, so we have something for them to drink out of. Yeah, we're still adding more beavers. So we're doing well. We're recovering, as far as I can tell, we're recovering about as well as we can. There's still a couple things that I think could be a little better. But in the grand scheme of things, stuff seems to be going well. Now we're just waiting on logs that they don't have because they haven't been able to harvest any trees. But we do still have, we can stop importing potatoes and bread and stuff, because now we have our own farms over here. So that ought to make life a little bit easier for this guy. Don't know really how that name is supposed to be pronounced. Yeah, logs and medicine importing into here is probably the only thing we need. Okay, these guys, yeah, we have 4 incapacitated, so they should all be using these beds. Did they build these beds down here? They sure did, except this one doesn't have medicine in it. Let's go ahead and detonate this. And we'll go ahead and put in one of these guys. So now we'll be able to put in, I believe, I'm going to have to be careful where I put grist mill. Probably shouldn't be right here. This probably should end up just being more of these lumber mills, because we're going to need a lot of them. Yeah, let's do that. Put a couple lumber mills there, and there's some other stuff that can kind of reach over here. We could maybe do a paper mill like that. We already have a paper mill. We don't really need another one. Gears. Gears are what we really, really need. Actually, now that I think about it, we can also build up here because they'll just connect through the side of this. But we definitely need the planks and we definitely need the gears. So I think we're going to be in good shape once we can actually start getting more wood. Which, you know, is going to improve eventually. We just need to start growing a whole lot more of it. So realistically, I probably should have another path coming down here. Let's unplant this whole area. These should all be growing pretty soon. I can just actually make a path directly from this forester all the way down here and plant some more trees there. So we have some pines, we have some more maples. I think I'm going to plant, if I can, down here. Going to plant a bunch of maples because they're long growing, sure, but you get a ton of wood, and we do have the pines to try and take care of that in the meantime. Yep, looking good. All right, and pretty soon these ruins are going to be all mined out. We do have the mine here that we can eventually, you know, get into, but we're gonna have to have a lot of gears and a lot of treated planks to get metal out of that. So that's not going to be our number one priority. Probably are going to end up mining this. I think it should still reach. And it should. I just want to make sure that this dam is complete first. And we've actually kind of lagged behind on this because we haven't had a whole lot of wood. And that is just, that's just one of those things that happens. It's been kind of unfortunate that we haven't been able to get this done. And the drought is ending in 0.3 days, and I really want this to be... Oh, I forgot I had dynamite here. I really wanted this to all be, you know, connected by then. But it looks like they finally did get around to kind of getting this going, which is going to be a big help moving forward here. So just before we get... oh, well, they haven't collected all this rubble yet. That's the way that goes, I suppose. They're not going to be able to get to this until they get rid of all this rubble anyway. But we have... How much wood store? Oh, we only have 25. Yikes. Okay. Well, that's because nobody's harvesting anything because they're not working in the lumberjack stuff. So why don't we go ahead and... Well, we'll get at least one of these guys. I really hope they can get this last bit done. Okay, yeah, they're working on it. It's just slow. It's going to take stuff a while to fill up anyway, so I think we're going to be okay. Should be fine. It's just we're in this weird spot where we need a lot of wood to operate our power system because we don't have gravity batteries yet. That's probably still out of reach for this episode. Maybe the next one too, because we did have those setbacks when the population kind of crashed a couple times. So we're going to have to be pretty vigilant about making good choices from here on out. Hopefully we get a nice long wet season. We can replenish all of these and start getting some more wood. But if we can at least get one of these, one or two of these put in, that's going to be a big help. Unfortunately, the way that I built this is that no water is going to get through unless I start deleting the dam. And if I start deleting the dam, then they can't get across to finish the rest of it. So I think what we're going to end up having to do is get this entire thing filled up, and then hopefully by then they'll have at least a couple more of these things done. We can let this whole thing backfill. So now the water is coming back here. And I probably should have just put in a single dam piece here. And in fact, I think we're going to go ahead and just do that so it stops kind of pulsing back and forth. Because this does need to be filled. That is a gradual thing. Because eventually I do want this to all be irrigated. I want to put another district here. That's probably going to be a next episode thing. Well, at this point, 40 minutes in, yeah, it's definitely going to be a next episode thing. Let's get this guy all finished up. This isn't even going to be filling even remotely close to right now. But I guess in the spirit of, you know, trying to get everything taken care of, I can just kind of let this kind of be this sacrificial area here. Get a whole bunch of water downstream and then fill it up as it comes in. And that should kind of help itself once this dam is in place, which it almost is and is now. So that should be a little bit more controlled coming out of there, which means that we're going to lose less, which means we're going to have more coming out of here, which is what we originally wanted in the first place. Ah, yes, we need more wood. That's the way it goes. Because we have 0 in here. But the good news is this is still filling up, and it's going to be for quite some time. Hey, we have maple syrup. That's cool. We can start making maple pastries. Maybe sometime soon. I can't remember what the recipe is for those. It's not going to tell me unless I change it. I don't want to mess with them making... Well, there's no wheat flour anyway, so I guess we can just take a look. Okay, so they need wheat flour for that. Yeah, we definitely need to get more wheat going. They are working on it, though. Just a slow process. Man, we're already on day 3. We need those logs. Need those logs. Yeah, this is almost full now, which is good. That's going to be a big help. I probably should have put a floodgate in here somewhere. But that's just something we were never going to be able to get done during that drought because we did not have the manpower. But our numbers keep increasing all the time, so we're in good shape. This is backfilling very slowly. We probably need more water storage. Now that I think about it. Oh, that's right. I was going to build a water tank right here. I always want to do that. And I didn't put this here because I didn't remember. There's still 6 dandelions here. We're never getting rid of those. Okay, did they or did they not? No. They have not gotten rid of those debris. So I guess we can just go ahead and assign that as top priority because they can actually use this to do other stuff. I don't know why they haven't gotten into that yet. Let's turn this back off. Yeah, this is still not... Well, okay, because now it's trying to backfill this whole area. So that's actually good. Yeah, that's good. Because now it's going to kind of equalize here. Waiting on this dam. So I think now we're actually in good enough shape where I can start just kind of cutting all of this out. Which means they can now harvest these logs and use them to build other stuff. Well, during regular working hours, I guess. All right, no drought warning today. That's good. That's good. That's good. We're using these logs. We're making productive use of old resources, and I love it. Now we just got to be a little faster about it. All right, it's 'cause as soon as I get those done, I can get rid of this stack, which will be very helpful as well. There we go. All right, now come get this. And then we'll do this entire stack here. And that's really going to help this area out. Because now this whole thing is, well, more or less connected. They're waiting for the logs, and they're going to get the logs by having this dam constructed. They should just go ahead and bring it all the way up here. Don't know why they haven't done that yet. There they go. Because as soon as this whole thing's done, then I can cut off this other side here. Although I fully expect at this point to get the drought warning as soon as day 6 starts. We're in decent shape, but yep. Now I have to start filling this one up. I think maybe the best way to do that is just to kind of dump a lot of this just real quick, because that will refill all the way to the very end. And there's a lot of it stored up there. All right, we'll put that back up to 2.5 where it belongs. All right, now how have they done cleaning up this? Okay. Looking good. We'll go ahead and prioritize the demolition of that. And that is all but done. Just waiting on those last few bits, and then we will release all of this. Yeah, we're doing fine. We are doing okay. Gotta set that to water before I forget. Okay, did they get all of this? They sure did. Did they finish this? Not yet. We're getting there, though. We'll just let them finish that, and then I will take out one of these, and I guess we can just start replacing this with the stilts like we did over here. Should be fine. This thing needs to be occupied and put water in. Now we can take that back down to normal, low priority. All right. I really thought they would be finished with this by now. And I also wanted to put another sideways intermediary thing here. But the good news is this is storing exactly the amount of water we needed it to. I really want this. I know this doesn't matter, but I really do want this to be finished before I delete any of these. Just kind of a personal little, I don't know what the word would be for it, but come on, man. I gave you guys these 18-hour days. Do me a solid. Okay, now this is full again. That's looking good. This is full. This is dispensing. I guess we need to dam down here. That's going to be a next episode project for sure. Because now we can actually get across here with this this guy and put a district center somewhere over here. See how far I can get away with the building. I should be able to get across over to here. Just trying to think. I guess I'm going to have to do that. Put in one of these guys here. No, I need to delete that. Okay, got 0.5 days. Well, that's next episode anyway. Let's go back over here. Did they finish this? Let's pause the game. Well, they got one of them done. Sheesh. All right. Well, I mean, the water level's the same anyway, so it's fine. We're doing A-okay for right now. So I think everything is going to be fine. We're now up to a similar population before we had all the stuff go south. And now there's only 18 unoccupied jobs in this district, and at this one there's only 5 because we have the golems, bots, whatever have you. All right, so drought begins. We should have now no more water coming out, which is exactly what we wanted. This whole thing is connected. Oh, I need to connect. Speaking of connections, I need to connect this. And they're waiting on a log there, which is to be expected. Let's go ahead and cut these pine trees down. I should have had those marked earlier. But that's going to get us a few more logs. And we have these maples. It's going to be a big help. Getting these maples all coming in right about now is really going to be a big boost into getting all of our industry stuff going. Now we have all these engines. We're actually... if we have all 5 of these going, that should actually produce enough power to be, you know, enough power that we're using. That'll be fine there. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. We have a 22-day drought. Obviously not going to get through that in today's episode. We'll do a little bit more. Fix a few final things. And then we'll move on into episode 10 with a whole lot more optimism and confidence in being able to get the rest of this stuff finished. It really doesn't take very long to recover from something like a population disaster if you have the right stuff in place to counter that. So what's our deal here? We don't have... Yep, it's gears. We don't have enough gears. Which is kind of hard to have a lot of gears when you don't have a lot of wood in the first place. Obviously, look at all this. We have grilled potatoes. We've got carrots. And then this one, of course, is going to be bread once we get around to doing bread. And I said I wasn't going to do bread until we had enough people to work. We're almost to that point, honestly. If we can start getting more bots as well, that's really going to help. But let's go ahead and start growing bread, because it does take 10 days to grow. Or growing wheat, excuse me. So we'll just have all of this be wheat. They'll be able to take care of that easily. Okay, so now this is actually all growable here. Let's fix that. I think it's these 2. Yep, sure is. Okay, so that is growable. Mark that as cuttable. And I think, yeah, we can start growing here as well. So we're going to want that to be hardier trees like maple. What was the boundaries on that again? Okay. Yep, that's perfect. These will survive longer in a actual drought situation. So that'll be fine. This is all done here. Okay, so that means... Actually, maybe we don't want to delete this quite yet, because this is going to get sucked down a little bit. Why is this guy... Oh, broken teeth. That's right. He needs a tooth grinder, which we will certainly give him. Go ahead and do that. So we're actually pretty much full up on water, more or less. In this district, we probably need to be building more storage. We really need to be unlocking this large tank. But we haven't really had the science yet, because we haven't had the spare beavers to work on the science. That's kind of a gradual thing we're going to have to keep an eye on here. Now, these guys are plank makers. They need power because we don't have the gears, of course. Because we need these guys to be making the gears. They're waiting on limbs, and this factory makes the limbs, and they're waiting on gears. Yep, it's gears all the way down, to absolutely nobody's surprise. I can't help but think I could have laid this out a little better here, actually, because now I have this 2-wide space. It really is just a 1-wide space. I probably could have planned this a little better. So this is probably going to end up being just single storage. Maybe it would be fine as little water tanks. I don't know. We can put 3 of them here at least. Never hurts to increase your storage and have a little bit more localized to these other areas that beavers are going to find themselves in. Yeah, so that will be okay. Why are there no trees planted here? I guess that was a oversight. An oversight. I should use correct grammar. Yeah, everything is looking fine. Did these guys ever pick up? Yes, they did. Okay. So, I guess I don't really have to delete these things. But I do want to make sure we recover all of our materials from these stairs before I build another pathway over here. Yeah, so collect those and then collect these. Yep, come pick that up. We'll build a second double platform here and get... Oh, there's already a single platform. Okay, well, we'll just build a single platform on top of that. Get these connected, and they can start pumping. That is definitely a good idea. Yeah, we definitely need these bots coming faster, because now they're starting to break down, which is, of course, not what you want. I did mark all these for cutting, right? Yeah, okay. This guy just has to keep doing his thing. We just need gears, man. We need the wood, we need the gears. Just an eternal struggle. Somebody come cut these. Do I not have... No, these are all in range. They're all in range of our lumberjacks, so they should be getting to work here. As a matter of fact, we have so much wood in this district. It really should be exported. So I guess we just need more beavers working on the distribution post to help solve that. So now we have... Okay, what jobs are not being filled in this district? Okay, water pumps are all occupied. Builder's hut, unsurprisingly, nobody working there. That makes sense because that's a low priority job. Distribution post, that's working. District center, engine, nobody's working, but that can also just be run by haulers putting wood into their farmhouses. Need to be occupied. Foresters need to be occupied. Gather a flag, that one's paused. Why is that? Oh, okay, that's the one that still has the dandelions in it. Grills are occupied. So what is... Okay, it's all these lumberjack flags that are unoccupied, but we do have a couple. We have a couple that are in the process of being used. So really, we're doing fine. There's not really anything going poorly. We just need more of the wood delivered into this district, because I know we can make it. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. And then get more of these gear factories going. But we need beavers or golems, bots, whatever, to actually work them. Kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Gonna take these down to 2 and have these guys working here. Okay, we still don't have enough gears to do all this stuff. What have we prioritized over here? Because I feel like we're kind of missing something. I guess they're still building... Ah, they're building all these engines. Okay, let's just pause the other engines for a bit, because we don't need to be sinking all of our gears into that. Presently, our power needs are adequate, so I think that's probably exactly what our problem was, is we were just sinking all the gears into new construction instead of, taking care of the stuff we already had. Hopefully this ends up... Okay, yeah, they just have to finish building this. We'll be in good shape. We'll have those 2 there. And then I think we can go ahead and put in a couple more gear workshops. See, now we're starting to have lower water levels over here. Now, it's lower on this side. Is it? No, they're actually about the same. Kind of surprising. Okay, we really want to avoid having the farmland go dry, so we'll have to be careful here. I'm going to make this a lower priority job just because we already have so much water. And we really shouldn't ever run out. If we have 600, we only have 30 beavers in here. Okay, this guy has to be connected. I forgot to build a path there. I want to unlock... Oh, I have enough science. I wanted to save the science for the number cruncher, though, because I feel like that's going to pay dividends pretty much as soon as it's built. Come to think of it, what does that take to actually construct? Okay, we should be able to do that pretty easily. We have plenty of metal. In fact, for right now, we probably don't need to... Probably don't need to have any of these guys actually going for the time being. Because we have so many more things that they could be doing, like working in the gear factories. Gear workshops, yeah. That's exactly what we want. Start churning out those gears, start making these bots again. We are coming out to the end of the episode, methinks. But look at all the progress we've made. Look at all the positive change we've decided to do this episode instead of just complaining about stuff. I am sorry for being negative a lot of the time. It's very easy. It's one of those things I tend to find myself kind of falling back to if I'm not careful. But this district now has 51 beavers. I mean, we started this episode, we only had, what, 30-something beavers total? So we've made a pretty good recovery there. We're still missing a few kind of important jobs. All these lumberjack flags that aren't being, well, lumberjacked. But I think this is about as good of a recovery as we could have hoped for. And we can celebrate that. Does this guy have broken teeth? That's a bot. Okay, so he's got broken teeth and he's starving, but we have food here. We've got plenty of food. So we need to put in a tooth grinder somewhere over here. I guess we can just go ahead and put it right here along the path. Probably doesn't hurt. Use that, but yeah, we got a lot accomplished today. Started growing the wheat. And before we end today's episode, I am going to put in a grist mill now that we have space down here to do so. Let's see if I can find a good spot for it. I guess we'll start by just putting right next to these bot factories. Go ahead and grind a wheat flour. And then we'll put in a bakery. Try to find a good spot for that. It should be relatively close to the farm. I don't want to take up arable land though, so it's probably going to end up going. Maybe right here is a good spot. Yeah, we'll put our bakery making our bread. And then right in front of it, let's put a little storage space for wheat flour. If I can remember where it is. Cattail flour. This is wheat flour. So that'll be wheat flour. That'll be helpful there. Got all that set up for bread. I guess the farmhouse will be able to store wheat. Probably should be fine. This is not a very optimal pathway for delivering wheat flour, but it is important to have some next to the small warehouse. The bakery, excuse me. So that's why we have haulers. Our haulers are bots, so they don't really care. And we seem to be, well, still kind of low on the gears, but that is gradually improving. These bots definitely need to start being made faster, though. Unfortunately, the speed never really increases. It's just one of those things where you kind of have to deal with the hand you're dealt. Eventually, when we have all of this fully automated for bots, I don't know, that's going to take several episodes until we can unlock the number cruncher, at least. It's going to take a while. But we're in a good spot. We should be more than well enough equipped to basically never die the rest of this playthrough. Which, you know, is always the original goal when you're doing something like this. We're still pretty far away from getting monuments. Probably another 4 or 5 episodes for that. If things continue the way they are. Decoration we haven't even begun doing yet. Of course, there's all these other well-being things we haven't done. Gravity batteries, really need to get into those sooner rather than later. That's going to be a fun project for the next couple of episodes. And then, of course, terraforming. It's always ends up being the end game kind of technology. And we're going to have to get over here to start doing more of this mining. That is a long-term project because we still have some here. And we have so much metal saved up, we really don't need any right now. But that's going to change the more bots and golems we start making. For right now, though, I think we can be very happy with where we are and the progress we made today and the recovery we made from last episode's nonsense. Of course, we still need to finish this area right here and turn this into a little bit better of an aqueduct, as well as building this district over here and damming this up so we don't end up wasting a whole ton of water. But this is probably going to be a next episode thing, as well as all the other stuff we just talked about. So as always, I really appreciate each and every one of you who watch these videos, take time out of your day to watch me play the post-apocalyptic beaver survival game. It's a lot of fun. I really appreciate all of your comments. So if you have anything at all to say, questions, comments, concerns, want to tell me there's something I might be doing wrong, or offer some helpful advice, that's always welcome as well. If you have criticisms, I always accept those. I try to take everybody's opinions into account and also learn new ways to be better at the game, because I certainly don't know everything about the game. Although I've played a whole lot of it the past couple months. At some point I probably should know everything about it, but we're not quite there yet. So if you have any helpful advice, always welcome to share that down below. I read every single comment. I respond when I can. Although I can't always get to every single one, I do read them and I do appreciate them. And I appreciate you for taking the time again to be here with us today. So whatever it is that you're doing with the rest of your day, I hope you have a fantastic one. Stay safe, have fun, and until the next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.